Hello and welcome to HughesRound with me, Graham Hughes. It is Monday the 17th of May 2021 and oh shit, what next? I'm sorry I'm late today coming on. I realise I'm 10 minutes late. I'll just explain. So first of all, I grabbed my laptop, about to run downstairs and start the show when my right contact lens decided helpfully to roll to the back of my eye. And the two most difficult things in life is one, trying to get a contact lens that's rolled to the back of your eye out. The hardest thing is watching someone who has got a contact lens at the back of the eyeball out. Anyway, so that took about 5 minutes. I ran down here. I was all ready to go, and about 2 minutes passed, and I wasn't getting any feed on my microphone. So you could have seen me, but you wouldn't have heard me. And as I did a Windows update this morning, I thought, okay, well, I better reset my computer and make sure that everything's kosher. So yeah, that's why I was late, basically. An eyeball problem, so a biological problem, and then a technical problem, which, about sums it all up these days, doesn't it? Everything seems to be problems with biology and technology. Oh, and idiots. Yeah, they're a problem, like Lord Frost, our unelected bureaucrat, or unelected Brexit bureaucrat, who's now whinging about the deal that he negotiated. He wants to take the EU to court over the deal that he negotiated. Yeah, these private schools, like the one that Lord Frost went to, they're not sending their best. They're not sending their best. That's all I'm going to say on that. Okay, that's not all I'm going to say on that. I'm going to say a lot more in the coming days, weeks, years ahead until we close those bastard places down. But until that glorious, glorious day, I'm going to say hello to all of the lovely people watching. I've got Jacob there saying hello. We've got John Barleycorn as well. We've got Night 100. We've got Hank, Chris, Yurosh, Martin. We've got Gene. We've got Graham. We've got Joe. We've got Pete, RC. And we've got Jacob again. And Yurosh again. Gene T says, I miss your lovely locks. Oh, I don't. I was embarrassed to go out without my hats on, I swear. Good afternoon, all. Ginger Giraffes. It's Monday. What did you expect? Tell me why I don't like Mondays, as the Boomtown Rats once sang. I don't know. That's Garfield. It annoys me, right? Garfield hates Mondays, right? Garfield doesn't work. Garfield doesn't have a job. Like every day, like the Dandy Warhols once sang, is like a holiday for Garfield. Why is he whinging about Monday? To him, Monday is the same as a Wednesday or a Friday or a Sunday or a Saturday. I have no idea why he had such a problem with Mondays, having, not working. Maybe if it was a cartoon character who had to go into work every Monday morning, then yeah, I could get it. But Garfield, I'm sorry. You've lost me on that one. Graham, as we say in Dutch, kipper bunny hugging Brexit. What? Say, kipper bunny hugging Brexit. Okay, Hank. Kevin says, they all think they can suspend the entire Northern Ireland Protocol under Section 16. It only suspends part of it for a limited period of time. Yes, it's for extraordinary circumstances, like, I don't know, vaccine problems. We're getting people vaccinated in a given area. And it's also limited to about a month. So, yeah. Keep tap water away from your eyes and don't use or at all with contact lenses. Persistent eye-eating amoeba found in tap water. Oh, thanks for that, John. Persistent eye-eating amoeba. Why would they put eye-eating amoeba in tap water? And if there was, what wouldn't that be in the shower when I'm having a shower? How come it doesn't eat my eyes in the shower? John, you've got to tell me more about this persistent eye-eating amoeba, because you're freaking me out here. You're freaking me out, John. David says, I miss your long hair. You only need a nice comb. But you cool now. Yeah, I look well cooler. I've got my mum on here. Hi, Mum. I've also got Drew Galdron, who says Graham's theme music for when he's preparing to start should be the BBC News remix of Dua Lipa's Hallucinate, especially considered Dua strongly supports NHS nurses. Cool, but I think I'll probably get done for copyright on old YouTube, and they'll cut my sound. Tim Wilson says, hi from Brussels. Hi, Tim, in Brussels. Drew says, Judge Rinder would have a field day with Lord Frost. I'm sure there'll be a lot of talking. Should we give Rob a call? Should we give him a call? Rob, sort this shit out, man. Yeah, bloody hell. Should we do a show with Judge Rinder where we get him to, like, adjudicate on, like, it's like The Show, but it's politicians who've broken the law, and we have like people like Drew who does Faux Bojo, so he could be our Boris Johnson. He could be hauled in front of Judge Rinder, and we'll go through all of his crimes, shall we? You're overthinking this cat cartoon, Graham, although you do have a point. Yes, thank you, Anthony. I know I'm overthinking it, but thank you. Okay, so today we're doing a little bit of Brexit reality. Last night we talked a lot about Israel and Palestine and the Gaza Strip, which wasn't great for super chats, I have to say. So let's steer it back towards the ongoing cataclysmic nightmare that is Brexit. Okay, so just this. Let's just go through the news stories that we've had sort of over the weekend. So the UK has proposed new Irish seafood checks from October. That's according to the BBC. The UK proposes phasing in post-Brexit Irish sea border checks on food. And the Brexit minister, Brexit's done. Get Brexit done. Why we got a Brexit minister? Because Brexit will never be done. Brexit will go on and on and on and on forever. The only way to stop Brexit and for it to not be a thing anymore is for us to rejoin the EU. That's the only way. That's the only way you're going to stop hearing about it. Otherwise, you just keep hearing about it forevermore. Brexit news. Live. Northern Ireland Protocol dead in the water, says UK. As dossier leak suggests new Irish seafood checks. So food coming from one part of the United Kingdom to another part of the United Kingdom has to go through checks. Great. Lord Frost is criticised over Brexit deal comments. That's from the Belfast Telegraph. UK's EU negotiator damaging North's economy by picking fights, says O'Toole. Maybe that's Vincent O'Toole for the Irish Times. Costa del Covid. Millennials swap UK drizzle to work remotely in Spain and gain post-Brexit rights. That's quite interesting. That's from the newspaper. I think it's owned by the same people who own the bloody Mail, though, or the Express or something. Riots in home working has led people swapping small city flats for Spanish villas during the pandemic. Welcome to the Costa del Covid, the place for UK millennials to be starting a new life during the pandemic. How can you work there if you aren't allowed to? So they're working remotely. Okay. So I'll have to read this and come back in. Many young people don't want to lose their freedom of movement across Europe, and by becoming Spanish residents, they regain their pre-Brexit rights as EU citizens. So it's young people going to Spain and working to become EU citizens again. Right, excellent. So also in the news, UK faces a labour shortage as COVID and Brexit fuels exodus of overseas workers. The music industry decries the first 100 days of Brexit as a disaster. And in the Times is reporting the JCB owner, Lord Bamford, takes dig at bosses after Brexit row. So I don't think I'm going to be able to read this because it's in the Times, so it's behind the paywall. But let's have a look. The Brexiteer businessman, Lord Bamford, is refusing to rejoin Britain's leading business association and lobby groups because of ill feeling about Brexit. Yes, everyone who is obviously a business association in this country hates everyone who is in business and is stupid, arrogant, or rich enough to back Brexit. So, yeah, not welcome in the club, apparently. There you go. He quit the organisation in 2016, months after the EU referendum. The decision was because of the pro-Remain stance of the CBI, which continued long after the vote. Yes, probably is still there now, considering shitloads of businesses are going out of business because of monumental gobshites like Bamford, like Dyson, like Tim Martin, who were born into wealth and just made a little bit more wealth. Well done them. And they just went, oh, well, we don't like to move our profits abroad. We don't care. We'll just destroy all these small to medium enterprises because we're not one of them. It's one way to take out the competition, isn't it? Scum. Anyway, what have we got in the messages here? Hi, Graham's mum, whoever you are, says Kevin. She's my mum, mate. She's my mum. Old-fashioned boracic acid is very good for eye washers. What? Contact lenses lead to some corneal erosion, so particularly prone to infection by this amoeba. UK woman had to undergo cornea transplant to save vision, but then re-affected. Rare, but still a risk. And then dark glasses. Okay, John, thanks for freaking me the hell out there. You know, people get hit in the face with footballs wearing glasses, and the glasses goes into their eyes, and then they can't see anymore. It does happen. Just wear glasses, really. Aren't you streaming too much? Just joking. Good job. Am I streaming too much? I don't know. Probably. Hody ho, says John Barleycorn. Charbox says, what about using StreamYard or Melon app to invite video guests on your show? That's a good idea, Charbox. Need to look into StreamYard. David says, Graham, if Scotland gets independent, Scotland could impose freedom of movement immediately after referendum, or does it have to wait 3 or 4 years? It'll have to wait until it rejoins the EU. I mean, it might not take as long as 3 or 4 years, because Scotland used to be a member of the EU for many, many years. It was a founding member of the European Union in 1992. So, yeah, getting back in, I think they would facilitate it happening quite rapidly, just simply because they want people to be looking over Hadrian's Wall and going, shit, looking north over Hadrian's Wall and going, Scotland's doing a lot better. Although Hadrian's Wall kind of, if you look at the border with Scotland and England, it goes diagonally, but it used to go straight. Back in the Roman times, it went straight across, and so it's actually just sort of north of, well, Carlisle on the left, but Newcastle on the right. So yeah, that whole area of sort of Cumbria and Northumbria. Those areas, Northumberland even, those places, should be Scottish, maybe. Maybe they will be Scottish again one day. I don't know, but look, we'll be looking over the border, should we say, instead of Hadrian's Wall, looking over the border at the wonders of Scotland and how well they've done. Haven't they done well when they're producing 97% of their energy through renewable energy, and their economy is going great guns, and businesses from all over the world are setting up shop in Edinburgh and in Glasgow because that's where all the cool kids want to be. Yeah. Oh, talking about cool kids, have you noticed how some trees that still don't have leaves on? It's the middle of May. I know this might seem like a bit of a tangent, but believe me, I'm bringing it round at some point. I've really noticed this. Has anyone else noticed this? Can you let me know in the chat whether I'm the only one and I'm being a bit weird? Because I'm noticing loads and loads of trees that have not got leaves on still. Some of them have buds. Some of them have, got leaves. Yeah, well done. But it seems that there's some species of trees that need a good 7 days or 2 weeks or a month without frost before they start showing their leaves again, growing their leaves. And basically, it's too cold. It's too cold. I look at this. It's middle of May. I'm wearing a hoodie, a fleece, and a shirt and a t-shirt underneath, and I'm still cold. So yeah, I think this is down to climate reality. See that segue there? Did you like that? It's a good, wasn't it? So yeah, I think it's because the world is getting a little bit hotter, and as a result, Greenland is losing a lot of its ice, and as a result, the Gulf Stream is slowing down, and as a result, the warm currents that normally come up to Northern Europe are not getting here from the Gulf of Mexico because there's no driving cold current coming down from Greenland to warm us all up. And as I keep pointing out, where I live in Durham is pretty much on the same line of latitude as Lake Baikal in Siberia. So, yeah, it's supposed to be a lot colder. Well, it would be if it wasn't for the Gulf Stream. And I think the Gulf Stream is clapping out. And so, yeah, bit of a problem there, to say the least. But, has anyone else noticed the trees? Was it just me? Let me know in the comments. Right, back to Brexit, because this is all very interesting. I've also got a tweet that I'd like to read for you in a second. I'm just going to read some of your messages, because you're all awesome and lovely. We've got Anthony Higgins. Well, you'll be streaming a lot of glass went in your eyes. Ow, no, I don't want to get glass in my eyes. That would be horrible and painful. Frank Up Uni said, just had my eye tested today myself. Everything's fine with regards to eye health. Just need new glasses, which I'll collect next week. Hank says, yes, we are so scared of bunny hugging BJ. Yes, just that bunny hugger. Oh, yeah, because he said he's not a bunny hugger. Oh, just what a weirdo. Scotland will adopt the euro currency, said David. No, I think they'll just keep sterling, but just have it as a Scottish pound. Like there's an Egyptian pound. It's not to do with It's not to do with the British pound. It's their own pound. I think that's what they'll do. That's what I would do. And then maybe if there are any kind of major fluctuations in the value of that currency, peg it to the pound, which is probably a bad idea right now. Peg it to the euro. So yeah, every Scottish pound is worth, and make it like 10% more than a euro, just to keep people happy. Just to keep people going, yes, this is worth more than the euro. Ali Akbar, thank you. Best use the original border of Hadrian's Wall. Yeah, I think so as well. And that's closer to me. That's sort of walking distance from my house. Well, yeah, be a bit of a hike, but it's not the same as the 24-hour slog that it would take me to get to the border as it is today. Thank you very much for the super chat, Akbar. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate the super chats. They keep me sane and in food, obviously. It also helps. Nothing worse than losing your mind and not having any food to eat. You don't stream too much. Please keep going on. I don't have any friends, so the daily hour with you means a lot to me. Oh, thank you, Nijma. Yeah, I'm going to keep doing this. Don't worry. I'm not going to... Can't get rid of me that easily. Although next week, I do have a special secret mission that I've got to do on Tuesday and Thursday next week, so I won't be broadcasting Tuesday and Thursday next week. Fair warning. Although I will be broadcasting Thursday evening when I'll be doing my next, the next Hughes of the World after Bhutan. So this Thursday is Bhutan, which I'm really excited about because I've got an individual Lonely Planet for Bhutan. I'm not just using a collected edition that has a load of countries in one region. So yes, come find out about Bhutan. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. They've got a big history section. Jesus, woof. Sounds good to me. Okay, so where am I? Yes, I've noticed some trees without foliage near where I live. Thank you, Freckle Penis. Someone else who's noticed it. Good, because it's freaking me the hell out. It is the middle of May. Those trees should all be in foliage by now. Demonstrable global warming problems. Also, apparently half of the wine crops in France have been ruined by the frosty mornings over the last couple of months. So the cost of wine is going to go up quite a lot. But you can bring it from Australia, and it'll be a little bit cheaper than it used to be from Australia because this amazing Brexit deal, which allows Australians to sell us more stuff. We're nice, aren't we? Lots of deciduous trees. Talking about Australia, here's Jim Bob Robot. Lots of deciduous trees here in Melbourne have no leaves. It's late autumn. Well, there you go. What? Thermohaline circulation, all to do with water salinity, says John Barleycorn. Don't you know? Yes, an independent Scotland does not have to rejoin the EU for freedom of movement. The EU was not formed in 1992. The Maastricht Treaty came into effect in the 1st of January 1994. The EU is a continuum of the EC founded in the 1950s. Yeah. But hang on. But the EU, the Maastricht Treaty was signed in 1992, wasn't it? It's still the European Community for a few years afterwards, but it became I don't know. All right, well, it's around there. But I know that the EU is a continuation of the European Community and the EEC, which was in turn a continuation of the European Steel and Coal Community. Coal and steel. Yeah, coal and steel. My windows are wide open. It's nice weather. That says Hank. Whoa! Got loads of messages all at once. Interesting point. Spring starts later in Scotland than south of England. It's going to keep starting later, year by year. Duke says, I'm finally free of that sodding migraine. I'm really sorry, man. Migraines are horrific, and I hope that, it doesn't come back. We got Tim Wilson on Facebook saying global warming 2032 Winter Olympics in Limerick. Indeed. Sue says Lee's very slow to emerge, but we're in Aberdeenshire, so yeah, even further north than me. Moaz says, love the sarcasm in that you mentioned the UK-Australian deal. Yeah, it's fabulous. It could lead to up to £900 million pounds more trade for us with Australia, which is a tiny fraction of our trade with the EU. But, trade nonetheless, whereas they get over £4 billion worth of extra trade out of it. So who do you think did better there? Who do you think did better? Walking distance from my house, isn't that what Hadrian said? Indeed. Did Hadrian ever visit Hadrian's Wall? I thought he was just emperor of Rome when the Romans invaded. I thought that was the whole... Well, he was in charge of Rome. I don't know if he was the emperor. Kevin Hegarty. France have introduced rules that if they're having family stay with them in their home from a third country, the host family will have to register them with the local county council and provide details such as travel and health insurance, ID, details of people staying, and the address where they'll be staying. It only applies to families staying with loved ones. God, it's weird, isn't it? So you stay in a hotel, that's fine. If you Airbnb, that's fine. But if you stay with someone that you know, they've got to register. So if it's a friend, you stay with a friend, that's okay. But if it's... And is it if you stay with a French citizen? Or is this when you're staying with family who are British citizens with French residency? How does that work? Let me know in the chat. Let's have a look. I want to read out this really disturbing tweet that I got earlier today. That was tweeted to me. I'm going to have a look for it now. Oh my God, it'll be in my notifications, won't it? Graham, you must be handsome with the Scottish skirt. I wouldn't be able to pull off a kilt. I don't think. No. Oh, I've got quite good legs. Maybe I could. A knife in me socks. Always fun. RC says an independent Scotland would be required to have an independent currency before joining the EU. Why? I mean, RC, I guess that's the rules at the moment, but like those rules can be changed by the European Union at a whim. It's not put in stone. A lot of the rules for new accession countries to the EU were just put in place because the only countries that they thought were going to be joining were ex-Soviet Union countries and ex-dictatorships like Belarus and Serbia and places like that. Thinking, okay, well, if these countries join, we've got to make sure that they're on the straight and narrow. Whereas Scotland, honestly, I'll be bloody amazed if it didn't just get waved through, to be honest with you, whatever Scotland wants to do. Scotland might well join the Euro. Scotland could be the first country with an exclusively digital currency. Also lets them implement UBI easily. Fully digital currency? No, I think you still need cash. I think whatever route we go down in the future, I think having actual money, I can't see anyone going first with the exclusively digital currency. They might. But the problem is with digital currency is someone always takes a cut. When I have £10 and I give it to the shop owner, that's the £10 that I've given them go straight to the shop owner. Whereas if I pay that via PayPal come along and take 70p out of it. So yeah, if you're just introducing loads of middlemen into the situation, middle women, I don't know, Middle Earth. But yeah, difficult. Yuvosh says, I'm very impressed at how much Cornwall managed to shoot themselves in the foot. Do you think they'll see any money from the Tories? No. But thank you for the super chat. €5 there from Yuvosh. Always good to get a super chat. Thank you very much. The past 2 weeks have been the worst in a very long time. That's just Duke talking about its migraines. I'm really sorry, man. That just really sucks. Well, I assume you're a man. You might be a woman. I don't know. I know that it sucks to get migraines. So, yeah, just put your feet up and chill out and try not to strain yourself in any way. I hope you got someone to make you cups of tea. Being a member of State of the Euro is a benefit. Think European. Yeah, of course it is. Feckle Puny, after Scots independence, the next struggle will be for London City State and the independent People's Republic of Yorkshire. Feckle Puny, you might have noticed this, but a lot of people in Yorkshire are massive, rabid Brexiteers. And although Sheffield did vote to... Sorry, Leeds did vote to remain, Feckle Puny, so that's cool, but Sheffield voted to leave. Grimsby voted to leave. Hull voted to leave. Grimsby, Jesus. Is Grimsby in it is in Yorkshire, isn't it? I was going to say, so is it the top of Lincolnshire? But I don't think it is. Oh, God. Shouldn't we change the names of some of these places in the UK, like Grimsby and Scunthorpe? Make them something nicer, like Hull. Just call it Kingston. Change the name to Kingston, because it is Kingston upon Hull. Who cares about the Hull? Whatever the Hull is. Just, blur. It's a horrible name. It's too close to hell. It's like one vowel away from hell. Just change it. Call it Kingston. That's it. The new name. It's called Kingston. Grimsby. Just change the name to something else. Jesus Christ. Awful. There's a place near here called Pity Me. It's where we got attacked when we were on the bollocks to Brexit bus by a bunch of gammon people. And the place where we were attacked was called Pity Me. I swear I'm not making this up. Boris Johnson with a Kardashian haircut style. Charbox says, I read that one. We had to plant a new hedge along the side of our front garden because next door had all their plants ripped out. Its hornbeam has only come into leaf. Husband was thinking it was dead. Yeah, we normally have a hedge by the side of our house, and that's only just come into life. Yoicks, I'm late, says Shaggy. Oh, no, it's Yoni. Time to speed watch from the start. Buffering. No, I don't think I'm buffering. I hope I'm not buffering. I think that's Eugene T. I hope. Scotia, is that how you pronounce that? John says Scotia in name only effectively had third country status with the Roman single market, replaced by the more northern Antonine Wall after a few decades. Well, there you go. Henk says, when a country wishes to accede, it can submit a request to the Council. The European Parliament must agree to the opening of negotiations, and the European Commission is consulted. Yeah. Hank says, Adrian built massive wall in North Africa too. Oh, really? I didn't know that. He liked his walls. And he was also gay, by the way. He was the first sort of openly gay leader of the Roman Empire. Hank says, subsequently, all EU member states must agree to start the accession process. But I think they will. I mean, it's Scotland. If it was London, if it was England or the UK as it is now, they'll be like, oh, come on, seriously, after all that? But Scotland voted 62% to stay in the EU. And most people in the EU look at Scotland who, consider such things. They look at Scotland and think it's unfair that they've been pulled out of the EU against their will. And now they're suffering because of it. And yeah, like I said, doing up Scotland and ploughing in lots of trade deals and things like that for Scotland's benefit would be great for the EU, because it's a great little advert for them. It's like, oh, well, see this island, right? Well, this chunk of it voted to leave us, and now look at the state of them. And this chunk voted to rejoin, and now it's doing really well. There's thistles everywhere. Thistles as far as the eye can see. They can make secret thistle whistles to summon Nessie to come and crush Brexit. Nessie crush Brexit. All Shorts did a video regarding UK visitors to France, and Marcus lives in France, so he knows. Jim Bob Bob, you wouldn't be able to pull off a kilt. You heard it here first, folks. I wouldn't be able to pull off a kilt, yeah. Hashtag just saying. Charbox, you can have a zero-fee digital currency. They just need to make sure all elderly, handicapped, etc. have an easy and secure way to use their digital wallet. Stealing money and scams can be avoided. Charbox, I just think it makes it too easy. And also, I don't like it when I go to the bar and I just press on for spending money. It makes me spend money too much, especially when I'm a little bit drunk. Grimsby is in Lincolnshire. Okay, I thought it was. Lincolnshire. But Grimsby is north of Sheffield, isn't it? So that's kind of weird. Yeah, that would be fun. But Bruno with Jacob Rees-Mogg would be even funnier, or any member of the DUP. Oh, God. So we've got this guy called Poots, Mr. Poots. Edward Poots, is that his name? He thinks the world is 6,000. Thinks the universe is 6,000 years old. I'd like to point out that the Andromeda Galaxy, our closest nearest galaxy, right, is about 2.7 million light years away. Therefore, it's taken 2.7 million light years for the light from that galaxy to reach us. So the Earth is at least 2.7 million years old. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to see Andromeda. And that's the closest. That's the closest galaxy to us. I mean, there's galaxies really, really, really far away that we can see. That's how we know that the entire universe is probably about 13.5 to 14 billion years old. Because we can see the light from that far away. Jesus. What about the dinosaurs? Scotia is pronounced Scotia, as in Nova Scotia. Okay, Scotia. I was saying Scotia. That's really wrong. Scotia. Honestly, if I thought of it in terms of Nova Scotia, I would have said it right in the first place. But come on, it's pretty early. I think I've still got a fever. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. I would imagine you pronounce it the same way you do Nova Scotia. Yes. Given its Latinization of New Scotland, Nova Scotia. The Freckle Puny only joking about Yorkshire. That said, do you remember about a decade ago when an academic proposed shutting down the likes of Middlesbrough and Hull and having their residents move south? Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but I think we just need to change their names. Middlesbrough's not too bad as a name, but yeah, Hull. That's problematic. Just change it. Its real name is Kingston. It's like if you had a name your first name and your middle name, and your first name was just something normal like Michael, and then your middle name was like Twatface, and you just went around going, "Hello, I'm call me Twatface." You're like, why? Why don't you just use your name, your first name, instead of telling anyone what your middle name is? So yeah, just get rid of the upon Hull. Go away. We don't call Newcastle Newcastle upon Tyne. We don't call it Tyne, do we? We don't call Newcastle Underline. We don't call it Lyme. We call it Newcastle Underline. Money is already digital without crypto. Haven't used cash this year. Maybe once. I wasn't even thinking about crypto. I was just thinking of, just spending everything on my card rather than actually having real cash money. I don't know. Maybe I could be brought around on this. Although I was thinking today about that episode of Red Dwarf Time Slides where Lister goes back in time and he gives himself the tension sheet that allows him to become a millionaire in a different timeline. And I think he's married to Hugh Stark, who was famously Prince Andrew's girlfriend for a little while, Hugh Stark, in the 1980s. And fun fact, she was originally in Star Wars. She played a character called Cammy, I think, and she was edited out of the original cut of Star Wars. She was one of Luke's friends at Taji Station that was hanging out with him. He said, "Oh, there's a space battle up in the sky," and they were like, "Oh, Luke, you're always talking shite. Nothing interesting ever happens here," and they cut it out. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about Hugh Stark, but getting back to the time slides, he meets himself. Lister meets himself when he was a teenager. He just goes on about how crypto-fascist everything is, and he says, "Stop using the term crypto-fascist. You make me sound like an idiot." Although I would like to bring crypto-fascist back into the lexicon because I think it very well describes people who are obsessed with cryptocurrency, won't shut the F up about it and plague me every day trying to convince me that this Ponzi scheme for millennials is anything other than an absolute scam. Which it is. It's an absolute scam. But, I think drugs are a scam. I think that cigarettes are a scam. I think that war is a scam. And I think that gambling is a scam as well. The house always wins. The house always wins. So, yeah, cryptocurrency, yeah, the house always wins. If you're a billionaire, great, go for it. But if you're not, You're going to lose your shirt. Anyway, back onto the messages before I lose some more friends for calling them crypto fascists. In his 50s, even though he was married to a woman, Hadrian was in a relationship with some pretty guy in his 20s. Well, there you go. That's what you want. Especially if you're feeling lazy. Freckle Peony says, if someone thinks the Earth is 6,000 years old, just tell them that it's only 100 times older than a 60-year-old man or woman. Oh, that's crazy, isn't it? Hank says, Proxima Centauri is the closest star to the solar system, as its name implies. It's 4.2 light years. The speed of light is 300,000 kilometers a second. 6,000 years. Holy crap. Well, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, we only have to wait 4.22 for 4 years and a few months to see the light from Proxima Centauri. The interesting thing is a lot of those stars that are out there that we see when we look up at night, they're gone. They're dead. They disappeared. Thousands, tens of thousands, 100,000, maybe millions of years ago. They blew up. And we just haven't got the light from it blowing up yet. They haven't reached us. That's mad, isn't it? Stars that clear have been dead for years, but the idea lingers on. As someone once sang. Duke Vengeance says, that git Alex Bellendfield made a video about my hometown of Warsaw. It made me... I'll strangle him. Sorry. Pineapple Boy says, more interesting than ways to pay. Amazon's triumph over the high street has dire consequences on employment. That's very true. And also the setup of a city centre, like going to a city centre, what does it mean now? What do people go and do when they go to a city centre? And I think we'll see more angling towards experience things rather than consumables. So if you want to set up like Crazy Golf, or you want to set up a bar, or you want to set up a restaurant, or you want to set up Quasar, something like that, I think that's basically what's going to take over our cities. Stuff that you can't buy on the internet as well. So tanning salons. Oh, God. I won't lose a single moment of sleep to lose our high street betting places like Ladbrokes and I'm trying to think of some other betting places. I'm really out the loop on this one. Ladbrokes is the only one I can think of, but I won't worry about losing them. However, they have moved to the internet, and it seems like they've actually become even worse than they used to be, because there's not as many controls as there were when you went into the shops. Growing up in the 80s, walking past the betting shops, they always had blacked out windows, so you couldn't see inside them. That was government regulation. They had to black out the windows. It was them and pawn shops as well. Although a remarkable number of people in the 1970s actually went to jail for selling porn from a pawn shop. And you look at the plethora of porn that you have on the internet now, you're thinking, oh my God, really? Hank, as Proxima orbits Alpha, that doesn't mean that at one point in the future, it won't be the closest star to us and that different state if it's in orbit. Is Proxima Centauri, is that a binary star system? Apparently a lot of star systems that we can see are actually binaries. So God must only have had 6,000 years to stick together Earth. Are we going into WACD territory here? What Amazon can't do. Yeah, they can't tan people. And he has the nerve to call himself the voice of reason. Which Irish EU vote do you mean? Oh, I don't know. Speaking of cryptocurrency, what's the exchange rate of Minecraft diamonds to World of Warcraft gold? I don't know. Uni Kaluga says it's because God took 13.7 billion years to get here from where he lived. You know, like Santa has to travel from the North Pole. Indeed. A light year is therefore equal to... Oh, a light year is therefore equivalent to 300,000 kilometers, or times 60 times 60 times 24 times 365.25 equals, oh my God, 9,467,280,000,000 kilometers, or approximately 9.5 trillion kilometers. I wish I just read the end bit of that before I tried to go for the big number. But at least I can read a big number out, unlike Priti Patel, who's both horrific and thick as pig shit. Bayerberg, have you seen John Oliver's show about crypto last week tonight? There's 5,000 of them out there, and some are worth billions, but they all promise to do nothing. It's all a belief system. Yes, I would really recommend last week tonight, John Oliver taking on cryptocurrency. It is a thing of rare and exotic beauty, as far as I'm concerned. Yuri Kaluda said, God had a lot of green cheese that night when he made the moon. He had a lot of Brillo pads and plasters left over to make the earth. No, I mean, look, I just get an uneasy feeling. I get it about certain people. I get it about certain political ideas. I get it about just certain things. And one of my sort of touchstones, one of my things that, just makes me me, is it's part of my makeup, part of my personality, is I'm always innately suspicious of any get rich quick scheme. That's why I'm one of the few people who actually went to Las Vegas and didn't gamble a cent, because I just don't do it. I don't want to stop other people doing it. I'd like to make it more difficult for people to do it when it's not their money or they can't afford to do it, obviously. But it's just not for me. And I don't do the lottery. I don't do the national lottery, because I just think the odds are just too long. It's ridiculous. And so someone's got to win it. Yeah, I get that. But then I've also got this kind of, I don't know, old school, I don't want to say Protestant work ethic, because it's not even Protestant, just human work ethic. That I don't really believe in getting money for something you haven't done. And okay, you could argue that me getting that island in Panama is something I didn't really do because it was a competition that I won. But had I not visited every country in the world without flying and got a Guinness World Record or two out of it, then I wouldn't have been invited on the show. And had I not made friends all over the world traveling, I wouldn't have got the votes I needed to win the show, because it came to 50% public vote. If it had just been doing tasks on the island, I wouldn't have won. It wasn't. It was 50% tasks on the island and then 50% people voting. And yeah, if I hadn't done all that stuff, I wouldn't have got there. So I kind of felt justified in winning that prize. But and I'd never take part in a competition that I didn't think I had a very, very good chance of winning. But yeah, so cryptocurrency to me, it's got those elements that just really make me sort of put my shoulders up a bit. It's the get rich quick side of it, and also the cultish devotion. And you wonder why I always go on about people I particularly hate, like Johnson and Trump and Corbyn. It's because they engender this cultish devotion. And I guess if you wanted to be sort of a little bit disingenuous, you could say, oh, but Graham, I guess you're just jealous, because wouldn't you like a cultish devotion? No, I specifically wouldn't want a cultish devotion, because then I'd fall down the same trap as George Lucas making Star Wars Episode 1, because everyone's scared to say, no, George, that's a terrible idea. I mean, what are you thinking? You need that. You need that in your life. You need people who'll take you down a peg or two, stop your head getting too big, and so you realise that not every single idea that floats into your head one way or another is a good one, because some of them are pretty crap. Some of them are good though. Ernie Burns says the problem with so much of politics is when the informed argue with the ill-informed. The latter frame the argument. Informed opinion is always explaining views, the ignorant always asserting them. Yeah, absolutely. I can't argue with that. Hang on. When I was listening to James O'Brien this morning, he always does this. You can hear him tapping on his laptop when someone's talking, and it's kind of a little bit naughty, isn't it? It's a bit rude. But yeah, I wanted to get this quote right about. Damn, I can't find it. Oh yeah, there we go. This is a great quote by Voltaire, who said, "Prejudices are what fools use for reason." I like that. And I did want to read this thing on Twitter, because I'll come back to your messages in a moment. But this is something that somebody sent me on Twitter, and obviously it's been passed around on social media. I don't know if it's genuine. But basically, Neil Fawcett sent me this. He didn't. Sorry, someone sent it to me. Who sent it to me? Country Boy John, if you're watching, sent this to me. And it was originally posted by Neil Fawcett, who is at Barrister NF. And it's a letter from a school. It says, as you may be aware, following the UK's departure from the European Union on the 31st of January 2020, citizens of the European Economic Area, EEA, and Switzerland will no longer have an automatic right to come to the UK to live, study, or work. Whoever it is, whichever the name of the school is under legal obligation to ensure that all of its pupils have the required immigration permission throughout their studies. We are therefore taking this opportunity to review the nationality and status of all pupils ahead of the 30th of June 2021 deadline. Passport review. During the first stage of our review, we are asking that pupils bring their passport to school so that we can verify their status. Passports will be collected at the start of the day and copies retained so that checks can be carried out. Passports will be returned at the end of the school day. Please could you ensure that your daughter brings her passport to school on the following days? And looking at the year groups, so Monday the 17th of May, reception. Tuesday, year 1. Wednesday, year 2. Reception, as in 5-year-olds. As in 5-year-old girls are being asked to bring a fucking passport to school to prove that they can be taught in that school. I'm not going to apologise for swearing there. This is real. If this is real, if this is what's actually happening right now, this is the most 1930s Germany thing I've seen so far. This is the closest I've seen so far. 5-year-old girls getting vetted to see if they can be educated at that school, to see if they can stay in the country. Because they want to be deported. They want to deport these horrible little children. How dare they be born in this country? Get out! You can't be born in this country and stay here. Because you've got to have had a parent who was born here as well, and their parents had to be born here, and their parents had to be born here. And if they were brother and sister, that's even better. I hope they never left the village for 17 generations. 17 generations of the same family all having sex with each other and creating horrible mutant babies. And that explains Hartlepool. Bloody hell. Yeah, a bit annoying. I shouldn't swear. Don't want to get demonetized. Sorry. If I get demonetized, it's really bad. I could lose up to 17 pence a day on my advertising revenue. Ernie Burns says the problem with so much politics is when the informed. I read that one. Hey, if you're playing like HughesRound bingo, you could have like he's late. Tick. I've read that one. Tick. I'm neck deep in crypto. Won't evangelize here because Graham will pop a vein. The technology behind some ledgers is mint. The rest designed to pump the market. Oh, good. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you know. You have the secret information, Beobeg, that's required in order to walk that minefield. I'm just not arsed. I'm just seriously not arsed. I'd rather just use normal money and play Pokemon Go. Our sun will engulf the Earth as a red giant in 10 billion years, but the Andromeda Galaxy heading our way for a last waltz in about 4 billion years. Yes, the Andromeda Galaxy is getting closer to us, and it will crash into us at some point. Particularly the ice caps functioning with 6,000 years of mileage. Lol. Yeah. RC said Ireland has not had an in-out vote on the EU. It has rejected and then accepted treaties, but not an in-out vote. Yes, so it rejected the original Treaty of Lisbon. But no, it was actually... I think it was before it was the Lisbon Treaty. It was going to be the new constitution. Did they reject it? I think they did, and then it came back as a... And then some changes were made, and it came back as a Treaty of Lisbon. No, actually, I think what happened was they were going to have a constitution for the EU, and then I think France and maybe Belgium or Holland had referendums and they rejected it. So they rewrote the constitution as a treaty, and that became the Treaty of Lisbon. And Ireland had a go at that and said, no, we don't want this. They rejected it in a referendum. And so the Treaty of Lisbon was rewritten to accommodate the concerns that the Irish had. And the second time of asking, they got it through, which is something that the Brexiteers like to say, oh, well, this just shows that the EU's not democratic. They just keep asking for referendums until they get the result they want. It's like, no, they keep asking for referendums until they get a result that everyone's happy with, or the majority of people are happy with. They didn't just go back with the same treaty. They said, okay, we'll change this that you want changing. There you go. Is that better? And they went, yeah, okay, that's cool. You know, like the CETA trade deal, the Canadian free trade deal, that was changed because of the farmers of Walloon in southern Belgium said, no, we're not happy with this. And as Walloon has its own parliament, they had to change a few things in the deal to accommodate Wallonia. Graham, have you watched Harry S. Plink's utter dismantling of the Phantom Menace on the Red Letter Media? Yes, Drew. Obviously, I've totally read that. Watched that video. I love Red Letter Media. I watch a lot of their videos, but that dismantling of Harry Plink, of Star Wars Episode 1 is monumental. And I've mentioned it a few times on the show. Actually, I was talking about Keir Starmer. And in the Red Letter Media review of Phantom Menace, they do this thing where they go, can you, without saying their occupation or what they were, can you describe the following characters? And they make the point that you can't describe any of the characters from Star Wars Episode 1 because they don't have any characterization. Qui-Gon Jinn, Queen Amidala, there's nothing to them except what their job is and the fact that they wear strange clothes. And whereas the old school characters like C-3PO, Han Solo, Princess Leia, they have a lot of character to them. So if you ask someone to describe them, they can. And Keir Starmer has that problem. If someone says, if you can't talk about his job or his hair, please describe Keir Starmer. Okay, now describe Boris Johnson. See, Boris Johnson's a lot easier to describe because he has a bit of a personality. It's just what the left lacks massively. You could do the same trick with Corbyn, actually. Say, go on, describe Corbyn without it saying his job or what he wears. Well, he's this really good guy who really cares. Drew's calling up now. Hello, Drew. Put you on speakerphone. Hello, Drew. What's up? I'm going live.
I know. I called in for the show.
Oh, good. Well, unfortunately, my headphone jack for my phone isn't working anymore. So I'm having to hold my phone by the mic, which is what I used to do, and everyone complained about the fact that the sound was shite. So,
blast. I only had one question.
Go on, then.
What's wrong with your face?
Oh, my God, what's wrong with your face? Was that it? Do you just want to ring up to say that?
If you can't keep me on, then yeah,
I can keep you on for a bit. I can keep you on for a bit.
Okay, sure.
What do you want to say?
Whatever do you want me to say?
I can't put words in your mouth, Drew. So Drew is for Bojo. He pretends to be Boris Johnson for money.
Yes. Well, stay alert, everyone.
So everyone keeps talking about Boris Johnson, the fact that he might leave office, he might be getting pushed out, there might be moves to get Gove in charge. I mean, I think it's all bullshit. I think he's going to stay there forever because he's really popular.
My parents unfortunately are Daily Mail readers, but they have no real love for him, and they reckon he'll hang on by his fingernails. And they have been. They were saying, nearly a year ago that he'd leave office in spring 2021. Never happened.
Yeah, I know. They were saying he was going to leave last January. There were loads of messages on Facebook and Twitter saying, "Oh, a rumor is Boris Johnson's going to leave." Like, why would he? Why would he? He manages to do all this horrible stuff and get away with it. Why would they get rid of that? He's like the goose that lays the golden eggs. Like, what, they're going to replace him with Gove, who's the most unlikable person in the universe.
Exactly. If Boris does one thing for this Conservative government, it's simply keep them buoyant.
Ugh.
Probably from all the hot air.
Yeah, he's a big horrible slug man. But it's a bit much. It's a bit much, everything that's going on, and the fact that he hasn't really lost any support. And we keep seeing opinion polls coming out showing Labour way behind and Boris Johnson way ahead. Do you think that Labour need to change the leader for someone a bit more charismatic? Or do you think they can win it
But,
by
I mean,
powering through?
at this rate, I do kind of think it would take a miracle with Starmer to change it. I've said a few times. I mean, I haven't been very active on this particular issue on Facebook, but I've said a few times, as far as just improving the entire image of the Labour Party, it needs to be a Big Ten, and it does need to include British identity to a degree in that Big Ten, if only for the optics. But it needs to be a big tent for British compassion, British decency, and British progress, and all those sort of things. Yeah, if you brand it British, it's probably going to attract people who at least feel that Britishness doesn't mean flag wanking. But does mean opposing the corruption of the corruption and cronyism of the Tory government.
Do you feel that because I think that the only way forward for Labour is a progressive alliance with the Greens and the Lib Dems and Plaid Cymru and even possibly the SNP. What's your opinion on that? What's your take? Because you're quite embedded in Labour, aren't you?
I haven't been. No, I can disclose as much that I have done work for certain people in connected with certain campaigns of the Labour Party.
Yeah.
But that is paid work because obviously they wanted a Boris Johnson impersonator for that. But I left the Labour Party in 2018. I'd only been with them since just after the referendum.
Oh, right. So you joined them after the referendum and then left again?
Yeah.
Because I left them just after the referendum and I joined them again after the last election, basically, to vote somebody sensible in. But having someone sensible in charge doesn't mean they're going to do sensible things like, I don't know, a progressive alliance. But what's your opinion on the progressive alliance idea? Do you... I
mean, I would imagine that turning the Labour Party into more of a big tent party would have to include that to a considerable degree, especially as they should know under the current system that it's the only way that's going to improve their election prospects. And I suppose it is the most pragmatic move to getting the Tories out, attracting people to an alliance that will change the system to include proportional representation in general elections.
That's the deal, isn't it? We all work together in 2024. We get in as an alliance, and then we bring in proportional representation, and every election after that will be a lot fairer. They wouldn't need to have an electoral alliance. They could just run on their own platforms, and then once it all shakes out, the smaller parties will be able to team up with the bigger parties to decide what they want. Who's in charge. And I don't have a problem with that. I think that's the best way to go about it. The way things have shaken out in the last few years has been disgraceful. The fact that the Tories only gained 300,000 more votes and yet gained 80 more seats in the last election. I mean, how is that even mildly democratic? That just seems like...
Precisely. I just want to answer a comment from Pineapple Boy, whose comments have generally been interesting. He's before this, but he's saying Big Tent equals no strong position on anything. No, I mean I don't. That's the thing. I don't like Starmer's current thing of having no strong position on anything and trying to be far too neutral all of the time. That's essentially contrived centrism, I suppose you could call it. So no, I don't like Starmer currently being like that. I mean bringing people in who share, bringing people in under the same values of fairness, decency, and progress. All of these things that the Tory government clearly doesn't stand for right now.
Yeah, yeah. But also, I mean, electoral reform is a massive issue. I mean, it's not like having no say. It's basically something that will not only change things for the better for the progressive parties, but also it's something that you could imagine dickheads like Richard Tice and Farage getting behind, because they've spoken about it before. They've spoken about how unfair the first past the post system is, because they want MPs to get into the House of Commons, and they'll never ever get it unless they join up with the Conservatives, which Farage will never do, because they absolutely hate him. I think they hate him just as much as I hate him, which is a lot.
It's true, and also it's it would not just be opposing current Tory policies on electoral reform, but it would be determinedly wanting to push the complete opposite way, because the Home Office, freaking Priti Patel, is pushing to have, for example, mayoral elections be reformed into FPTP, just so that a Tory candidate would stand a better chance.
Yeah. I mean, so it's something that could get support from across the political spectrum. It seems like a no-brainer. Okay, that's the thing that propels them to victory in the next election. What's the big change that everyone wants? They want to have their voice heard. Well, this whole thing about taking back control when millions of people vote for a party that never gets into power. That's not taking back control.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's what I'll do. But also, Labour are now spearheading a well, I think the SNP did this first in Scotland, but they're talking about doing a trial of UBI in Scotland, which is great. And obviously, that's something that Labour could get behind. That's something the Lib Dems should be able to get behind. And it's something that the Greens want anyway.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I can only imagine that it could lead to a lot of sectors of the Scottish economy actually becoming more productive. You wouldn't think it, but I believe it will likely go that way, because it's the quickest and simplest way to ensure that the one thing that people then don't have to worry about is affording to live.
Yeah. And obviously, we've talked about UBI on this show quite a lot, because I think it is the way that the future is going to have to be. I can't see any other way of maintaining society and civilization in a few years' time, when automation has taken away all of the sort of the low-level jobs that people didn't enjoy doing anyway. And that will open up the opportunity for people to do their own thing. And as long as they've got this idea that they have enough money to live, pay rent, keep the place warm, buy food, then you can try anything. And I do feel like the fear of ending up on the streets is what holds a lot of people back, people who weren't born with a silver spoon up their arse.
Yeah.
Which is the vast majority. I wish people would realise that. But, yeah. Brexit's not going so well, though, is it?
Yeah, I did my best to reopen the economy, and it only cost 75,000 deaths from COVID. So it's not too high a price, wouldn't you say, old boy?
So could I just ask, Boris, why did you not stop flights coming in from India when we knew how I can't say the word. When we knew how contagious the new Indian version of the virus was?
Well, as I have had to say to a couple of Indian clients that I've had to do video messages for recently, as much as I desperately need to make big trade deals while the EU stuffs things up for us Brits as they do, sadly getting to enjoy such things as the crowded streets of Delhi, partially cooked foods from street vendors, and festivals of mass dung throwing, they're all just too dangerous with this resurgence of COVID.
Brilliant.
So that was ultimately what influenced my decision. I held back, but then I just felt COVID makes it bit too risky.
Brilliant. Thanks, Drew.
We can't have Indian variants of COVID coming over here. We need to ensure that there are jobs for the British variants of COVID first.
So, Drew, just to come back to Drew, do you reckon we could do some shows together over the summer? Are you going to be about? What are you up to?
I will be busy with a couple of things. Of course, I'm even expecting to do a gig for a major drinks brand. We're filming that in Westminster just the day after my birthday.
Oh wow! Wow.
Yes, my birthday being June 3rd. Queen's Jubilee, darlings.
Should I come? Should we come down to London for that weekend? That sounds good. just
Well, yeah. If we want to make a weekend of it, by all means, yeah. You could be the guy who steals my grapes. It was going to be plum flavour of this drink that I was meant to be promoting.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a vote for it. I can't. I don't want to tell you the brand. I've not signed an NDA or anything, but I don't want to give it away. But now they're having me promote the grape flavour instead. I don't get it. But you can be the guy who steals my grapes, and then I have to chase you down the street, just like in the TikTok video that I've become famous for, and I yell bloody rapscallion.
That could be it could be like Hedonism Bot from Futurama. He's always got grapes. He's always eating his own grapes, and that'd be Boris Johnson on a chaise longue. Eating grapes.
Could go with that.
In a Roman toga.
You know the ones I need.
I'll give you a toga.
I've gone very meta there. Very meta. But yes, so my birthday is the Queen's Jubilee, and today, of course, is International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia.
It is. It's Idaho. Oh God. Idaho-vit. That's it. Idaho-vit. So, are you doing anything today, or are you just putting stuff on social media about it?
Oh, I'm just virtue signalling, darling.
Oh, always the best kind of signalling. Just to make sure my indicators are working. But yeah, it is. Every
day is a day for me to push back against homophobia, biphobia, and transphobia, of course.
Yeah, and it's something that I feel like everyone should be doing. People think, oh, I've got no skin in this game because they'll say, oh, I'm not gay, or I'm not a transgender person myself, and it's like, it doesn't matter. The fact is, there are a lot of people who have a lot of power, and they just want to make people's lives a misery for the way they are. so we need to kick back against it, even if you're not like completely up on all the ins and outs of the arguments and everything. Just go, is this a minority? Yeah. Are they harmless? Yeah. Are they causing problems? No, they're not. Are people causing problems for them? Yes, they freaking well are. So let's give them a little bit of a shout out and a little bit of a little bit of support.
Yes, and keep in mind that Brexit has, the Brexit reality is that this problem has only been made worse by the sort of people who have supported Brexit and the people who have felt emboldened by all of it since the 2016 referendum. Because, and I know I've said this on your show before, and I will say it again. These are the sorts of people who feel that anyone who isn't like them, who isn't white supremacist, cishet supremacist, and neurotypical supremacist, anyone who isn't like them, they feel must owe them something.
Yeah.
And it's important that we tell anyone like that we tell the transphobes and the homophobes and the racists and just the general sort of people who have drifted towards Brexit and bigotry. We owe you nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that they've supposedly got the Brexit that they want. Well, they didn't get the Brexit they want because it's brought them fuck all. But sorry.
Well, no, they have because it upsets people like you and me. That's all they wanted in life. They don't want their lives to be better. They don't want. I was talking about the Kingdom of Benin last week because I was doing my Hughes of the World, and when it was the Kingdom of Dahomey, the chief or the king of Dahomey had a thing that every generation had to hand down a bigger area of land to the next generation. So whatever one given king inherited, he had to increase that inheritance to pass down to the next king. And although that obviously meant, war and taking over other people's land, but that concept of leaving something better for the people coming after you is the way it should be, really, yes. I think. Because why would you want future generations to have it worse than you had? And yet we do have at least one generation who seems to have it in their head that young people don't deserve nice things for inadequately explained reasons. But from that point of view, the Brexiteers have got what they want. They've absolutely shafted the younger generations of this country, and it's going to take us a generation to get out of this bloody hole they've put us in.
It's true, yes. They have shafted younger people, and they're still going to feel that younger people owe them something. And again, I encourage younger people, regardless of whatever other demographic or minority you're in, keep telling Brexiters and bigots, we owe you nothing.
Yeah. I'm just reading a really disturbing message here from David over in Spain. He said that he suffered a homophobic attack outside a gay pub in the UK. Bloke made him believe he was straight and seduced me outside. He and his friend kicked me, and he spent 3 weeks in hospital for a homophobic attack. Jesus Christ, David, that's awful.
Yeah, I was very wary about a guy a Polish guy. Well, it doesn't matter what nationality he was, but he was East European, and tried to pull me in a Romford pub one time, and just wanted to take me to some dark corner to make out. I was like, nope. But could have easily happened to me. That is unfortunately the danger that we suffer every day. I have absolutely loved the comments from David Gerardo, though. He's quite the bawdy type. I noticed. So I shall say, as I said in an earlier comment, David, oh, you are awful, but I like you.
So we also got a comment from Pineapple Boy doing the poem that was then they came for me, and by that time there was no one left to speak up, which is very true as well. We need to speak up for minorities. And recently, did you see what was in the news about Matthew Parris writing about the traveller community? Did you see that yesterday?
Not specifically, no.
Okay, I'll just bring it up on my computer here. God, I'm so old, aren't I? I'll bring it up on the old machine. At
least you're not calling it the magic white box.
The magic white box
that delivers us articles from the sun.
Yeah. So apparently he's a liberal commentator now. I don't know how Matthew Parris is seen as a liberal commentator, but basically he wrote an article which came out on Saturday saying it's time we stopped pandering to travellers, indulging those who claim to be nomads by giving them designated site and ethnic minority status has gone too far.
It's just absurd.
So Daily Mail reported it as Liberal commentator Matthew Paris says travellers. I mean, Liberal commentator Matthew Paris. Can you hear? Can you think of a more perfect oxymoron there? But I guess he's Liberal for the Daily Heil because, you know, anyone's a Liberal to the Nazis. Liberal commentator Matthew Paris says travellers must be told their way of life is over and they have no place in modern Britain after a group takes over a car park near his Peak District town.
I mean, you've got to be pragmatic about the actual situation. Of course, you know, if they're not welcome in a car park, they're not welcome in a car park. They must surely be welcome somewhere. But nevertheless, that's no reason to oppose the travelling community and its ideas entirely. I can't believe that anyone is saying that in the 2020s. That sounds like something that's more welcome in the 1930s.
Well, yeah, and I was talking today about this horrific letter that's gone out to a school. Well, we think it's gone out. I mean, it's on social media. I don't know if it's real, but I have put the link into the chat there saying that 5-year-old girls were having to produce their papers to prove that they were allowed to be in the school.
Yeah, I heard when you said that earlier. Just utterly disgusting.
Papers. Here's a word that will drive fear into anybody. Papers, please. Those words.
Yes.
Have you got the right papers? No. Okay, well, I'm going to throw you out your fucking house and send you into a country that you do not know, in which you have no friends and no job. Because you're not allowed to be here because you didn't pop out your mum's twat in the right coordinate of longitude and latitude. It just, honestly, it drives me mad. It's one of the things that I'm really struggling with at the moment is this. It's so absurd when you look at the world. We're all humans, and yet a huge swathe of British people think that they're somehow exceptional. But there's a weird thing about it, isn't there? Because British people have this superiority complex against anyone born in any other landmass on the planet. And at the same time, they all seem to have an inferiority complex to anyone with a posh accent who went to a posh school and was born with a silver spoon up their ass. What's going on there? Is that just cognitive dissonance on just an epic scale? Is that what it is to be British?
There's a cartoon I remember about nationalism that it's like when the village and the castle. When the medieval village and castle are there, and the peasants, are so poor, they revolt against their king. Nationalism is the king putting a big giant fence or wall around the village, and the villagers feel that they're richer because it's their riches, but actually it's still just the king enjoying his riches.
Yes. Yeah. Nationalism, I mean, taking credit for something that you didn't do. And then, okay, you can do that. That's fine, so long as you also take responsibility for the shit you didn't do because it was done in the name of your country. But we don't want that. We don't want to look at history. We don't want to look at the bad things that Britain did in the past, or Belgians don't want to look at the bad things that Belgium did in the past, or any country in the world doesn't want to look back at the bad things it did in the past. And I find that wherever you go, sort of half the people know about the past and they've come to terms with it and they understand it, and it informs the way they live their lives. And the other half just don't want to hear it. They'll stick their fingers in their ears and go, la, 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 I can't hear you. And they're the same bunch of dickheads who whinge when someone pulls down a statue of a mass murderer.
Yes.
Because, you can't do that. You're destroying history. I'm like, no, you're not. You're destroying history by encouraging people not to study history. Saying, oh no, everything you learnt in history when you did it, in your A-levels or in university, that was all wrong. What you want to do is listen to the history that I read in the Daily Mail. And you're just like, oh, Jesus.
The Freckle Puny, I believe the comment he wanted to make here was too many British, especially English, see themselves as the victors 1 minute and victims the next, but never the villain.
Yeah. Can't argue with that. Kevin Hegarty was tempted to make a comment about COVID arriving 4 years too late. He's worried that he might get himself blocked. Don't worry, Kevin. You're not going to get blocked for that comment. Sorry. Shouldn't laugh, but I will.
I shall let you carry on the show, Graham, dear.
Well, thanks for calling, Drew. Anytime you want to call up during the show, you're very welcome to. And let's do something over the summer. We were talking about doing some TikTok videos, weren't we? We should get going on that.
Yes, at least one thing. Wait until I've recovered this scar on my face. Though I've got massive fucking scars below my mouth. I wasn't just wearing a mask on Saturday because I was waiting to get the jab. Let's just say that.
What happened?
Just acne scars. I think there was, if you, I would say to your viewers, I know this is completely tangential, but if you're lactose intolerant or casein intolerant, don't eat anything from the vegetarian butcher, because they obviously use stuff that people who are lactose or casein intolerant, basically who have problems with dairy products or egg products, can't eat. Oh. And I didn't know about it until after I'd eaten this stuff and got like a massive fucking cyst on my back, and then other stuff on my face. So now it's someone else who needs to ask me, "What's wrong with your face?
What's wrong with your face?" When I was burning some stuff in the back garden the other day, and Amy, the little one, she comes out and she goes a bit close to the fire in the back garden, and she got a bit of smoke in her eyes, and she just turned around and she went, "My eyes, my beautiful eyes," from The Simpsons. And I was like, yes, I'm training this one well. She's only 6 and she's quoting The Simpsons.
Good.
My beautiful eyes. Anyway, okay, well, RC still waiting for All Statues Matter to complain about the Jimmy Savile statue being removed in Glasgow years ago. Did it tell you I set up a website called allstatuesmatter.uk?
Yes. Yeah, it told me about that.
A statue of Winston Churchill with a big cigar up his arse. Context is saying, already got depressed by the game Papers, Please, and now we have to live it in real life. Indeed. Okay, so thanks for joining us, Drew. We'll speak to you soon, okay?
Yeah, see you soon.
All right, you're awesome, mate. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yes, bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, it's always nice to hear from Drew. When Context saying the game, there's a game called Papers, Please, an indie game that came out, God, it must have been about 7-8 years ago or something. It's really good. You play a character who is like nameless East, well, it's not nameless, but a fictional East European country, and you have to decide whether to let people into the country or not. But also you've got to make money to live and feed your family. So do you take bribes? Who do you let in? Conservatives do that a lot. They are strong and invulnerable, then they are weak and need to be protected at the same time. Well, yeah, we hear that when we're dealing with Europe. 1 minute we hold all the cards, the next they're bullying us. How do you bully the person who holds all the cards? How do you bully the bully? Unless it was a lie. We don't hold all the cards, and the EU's a lot bigger than Britain. In every way, it's possible to be bigger. Geographically, politically, socially, demographically, and have I said that one already? And in terms of the amount of money they've got, so financially. Being Tory outweighs any progressive urge, read Matthew Paris, indeed. Yuli Kaluga says, disappointment is the new normal with Brexit. People formerly believed to be decent and reasonable are coming out with inane comments. Well, it's very interesting that Matthew Paris goes after the travelling community, because they set up shop on a car park near him, and just that level of NIMBYism is just catastrophic. I mean, but also the idea that these car parks exist, so they've taken a nice bit, Peak District, was it saying? Nice bit of the Peak District, or the Lake District, or the District, who cares, District 9, and they've put some lovely tar, which is oil, dug out from under the sea, mixed with some stones, put for a bit of a process. So they smeared this oil all over the nice rolling hills and gone, oh, it's a car park now. It's lovely, isn't it? And then if someone doesn't use it as a car park for putting cars, which is destroying the environment, then they have a little bit of a whinge about it. Oh, God, stop it. You're making my head hurt. Yeah. Percolatori says, hellos. A few days ago, I bragged about how I lost weight during lockdown and said how my polar vantage is excellent. Well, now I fell down the gym stairs and trying to sink it and tore ligaments. Oh no, Percolatori, she's a shit. Take care of yourself. Embarrassing. Enjoy your echo chambers, says Daniel Tooth. Okay, yeah, I will. You know, you can enjoy your knobheads owning 63% of the country's media. And by your knobheads, I mean the 3 billionaires, none of whom live in Britain, who own 63% of our media. Yeah, great. Just listen to them. They've got your interests at heart. Honest, Gov. God, these people are so thick. Anyway. Yeah. Basically, papers, please. Glory to... Oh, yeah. Astotica, whatever. That's the name of the... Percolatori's put the name of the country down there. Sadly, being Tory outweighs any progressive urge. I read that one before. Balal says the same person that made papers, please, also made another game called Obli Din. Heard good things about it. Cool. Oh, are we playing Crazy 8? Says Context. David says they started hunting gay. They'll continue with European. Very sad. Oh, well, it's just some people, they just hate everyone that isn't them. And they make excuses. You tend to find a bit of an overlap, don't you, amongst Brexiteers, homophobes, transphobes, people who are just xenophobic in general, misogynists, scumbags. You know, there's criminals. My inferiority complex isn't as good as yours. Pineapple Boy says Graham is fully recovered from his jab. Yeah, I think so. I was a bit out of it last night, so I didn't have the same level of energy that I normally do doing these. I was a bit kind of like, here's the news. It's very depressing. We're all going to die, and there's nothing we can do about it. But yeah, I'm a bit better today. Yoni says, funny thing, a remotely fed open-ended echo chamber is basically a foghorn. Yeah, I guess it is. Taki says, the Tories keep selling off Britain to the foreigners and keep claiming they love Britain. Yeah, who owns our national grid? Anyone? Anyone know? Isn't it like a Qatar Chinese consortium? So, you know when you get on the train, or you get on the bus, it's a Arriva bus. Get on the train, and it's Arriva, or one of the subsidiaries of Arriva. Yeah. Isn't that over 50% owned by Deutsche Bahn? You know the German national train system? Doesn't NSCF have a huge stake in one of our train operators as well? The national French operator of the trains, they basically make money out of our trains and they use it to subsidize their trains. So their trains are cheaper, cleaner, faster, run on time, and we're paying for their trains because our government have, over the decades, have sold off all the country's silver to foreigners. 1.3 trillion pounds of assets have been moved from the UK into the EU over the last 5 years since the Brexit referendum. 1.3 trillion is an insane amount of money. If you stacked it up in £50 notes, it would be 5 times higher than the International Space Station. If you were a company and you made £1 million a day profit, it would take you over 3,500 years to make 1.3 trillion. It is an insane amount of money, and although it's not the same as profits, it does mean that the money that could be made out of that money is severely diminished, i.e. we're not getting tax on it, we're not paying people to work in this country and move that money about, and therefore paying their wages and getting money out of their wages. These are very, very well-paid people, so the taxpayer is losing out as a result, because we, the rest of us, are going to have to pay more in taxes to pay for the Conservative Party's utter stupidity. The reason why the people in charge of the Conservative Party are so stupid and yet still in charge is because they all went to private schools. And if you go to a private school, you learn how to shake hands with your hand under your leg or whatever it is. You join the old boys network and you're set for life. Doesn't matter how mediocre or stupid you are, you're going to be in charge of everything because that's the way our country works. So, yeah. Also, on top of the 1.3 trillion in assets that have gone, 2.3 trillion, that's more than our GDP, that is more than our gross domestic product for our country for a year for 66.6 million people. More than that. So 2.3 trillion pounds of share derivatives trading has moved out of the City of London and is now in Amsterdam or Dublin or Frankfurt or Paris or just somewhere else other than the UK. They are not being traded in the UK anymore because Tories are thick and the people who vote for them are thick as well. But that's okay. The people who vote for them don't have any power. They'd like to have power, but they didn't go to private school. So the Tories who have power all went to private school. In fact, the people in power in any walk of life, the top Greens, the top Labour people, the top Lib Dems, all went to private school. Just between you and me. Also the Brexit Party, the UKIP Party. Except for that bad brutal scally who pretended that he was at the Hillsborough tragedy when he wasn't, that UKIP leader. Yeah, he's a gobshite. He looked like Eddie from Bottom, but like he was a Nazi. And in fact, Eddie in Bottom was called Eddie Hitler. And when people said any relation, he said, well, I've got a mother. So, maybe it was based on him from the future. What vaccine did you get, Graham? My age group will have the option of either Astra or Johnson & Johnson. I had AstraZeneca, A to the Z, baby. We hold all the cards in a game of Mousetrap. In a game of Hungry Hippos, we hold all the cards. Cadet, 39% National Grid UK, 61% is a consortium led by Macquarie and Australian Investment Bank. There you go. Ernie Burns, it is because right-wing thought is based in fear. It is how fear makes cowards act, strutting and puffing, but cowering when push comes to shove. Conservatism is more behavioural and political. Yeah, won't argue with that. It's more emotional than logical. How to shut up anyone who questions your right to stay here. Ask them how much tax they paid and then show them yours. Yeah, that's very true. Although I do think that if you just show someone your dick, then you might get arrested for it, even if they have shown you their tax returns. Just saying. Taki says, I just joke. It's just a joke. I know what you meant. Taki says, the deal is also backed by the China Investment Corporation, CIC, and Qatar Investment Authority, along with fund managers, including Hermes and Alliance. Yes. So China Investment Corporation and the Qatar Investment Authority. Great. Wales and West Utilities, Chung Kong Group, 100% Hong Kong. Uni Kaluga says, if we're playing top trumps, we hold a 1979 Fiat Panda, a Wright biplane, and a gondola. I've got some top trumps somewhere in here. Let me just go get me top trumps. One sec. Right, there we go. It's my top trumps. So this is made by a company called Meaty Trumps, and I don't know if you can still get these anymore, but if you can, you should try and get a packet of them. That one is Tory Scum. That's a pack of Tory Scum. In this one, we've got a pack of British bellends with the bollock-faced foghorn of ignorance, Nigel Farage on the front there. We've also got Meaty Trumps. They're all like top trumps. So basically, you get cards for people being horrible. This one is Ruinous Corporations. And then we've got one that is Parasitic Royals. There you go. Meaty Trumps Parasitic Royals. And obviously one that, probably the first one I got was Brexitters, if you can see that. And it's got Boris Johnson holding a brick on the front. So if you open them up, you've basically got a bunch of gobshites. So we've got Duncan Ballantyne there. Who else have we got? We've got Oh, Daniel Hannan. Let's see what it says about Daniel Hannan. Oily and persistent Peruvian Brexitting Tory MEP with designs on UKIP speaks half truths and talks down the NHS while grossly misrepresenting Britons on Murdoch's Pox News. The sort of chap with an underground bunker full of box fresh Nazi regalia. He gets 97 for xenophobia, 95 for parochialism, 98 for jingoism, 98 for self-awareness, 99 for pomposity, and 92 for Brextertion. Donald Trump there on this one in the Brexiters pack has got him with pig-like ears, and for some reason he's licking a pack of top trumps, meaty trumps, and they call him Fuckface Von Clownstick. Before he became the most unqualified and unhinged leader of the free world in history, Trump intervened in the UK's EU referendum, rightly comparing his own US popularity with that of Farage's in the UK, said his presidency would be like Brexit plus. He gets 100 for xenophobia, 100 for jingoism, and a 0 for self-awareness. I'm not going to go through all these, but honestly, if you can find a pack of meaty trumps on the internet, it's well recommended for a game. Just not if the kids are playing, because obviously there's a lot of swearing in it, to say the least. Graham is holding all the cards, says Pineapple Boy. Oh, yes, indeed I am. Poker Face Johnson, no swaps, don't need them. Sorted. Couldn't be better, all in. Poker Face John, I'll vote for that brick. Hannan used to be one of my MEPs. Utterly useless he was. Yeah, but he's very rich. Didn't he represent Belize in the Olympics once for some reason? British Belen top trumps, excellent. Meaty trumps. Let's not get them done for copyright here. Meaty trumps. Kevin Hegarty says, yeah, you're probably right. At least there'll be no reason for any complaining. They should have cut ties and set the UK adrift. Frank Opini says, if state ownership is so bad, why do foreign state-owned entities own so much of British infrastructure? Very good question. We hold in all the cards in a game of the Red Dragon Inn. Yuri Kaluda says, Rensu automi de transport de Paris. Graham, that calculation is wrong. It is so much more. Oh my God, what? Kevin Hegarty says that game should be Jenga because every time you move something out the country, the rockier the structure, and it's only a matter of time before it comes crumbling down. Yes. Percolatori says, I had the 4x4 top trumps, and the worst one in that was a 2CV Dakar edition. 2CV Dakar. Did they do a Dakar edition for the Paris Dakar Rally? That is brilliant. Just read Biden has approved $735 million of precision-guided weapons. Oh, Jesus Christ. Is that trying to use the old Barnes-Wallace excuse of, well, I'm trying to make it so we don't kill anyone that doesn't need to be killed? Why can't we just spend the money on making it so no one needs to be killed? Pokerface Johnson. Kevin Hegarty says, I wonder if Priti Patel's parents are proud of her. I definitely hope they're not on social media for their sake. Graham, what 2.3 trillion is 2 with 12 zeros divided by 365 makes a ridiculous number of years. No, but you'd make $1 million. If it was $1 million a day, it would be 365.25 times $1 million. So you're talking about 365.425 250,000 pounds. No, it's got more than that, isn't it? Yeah, no, six. It would be. Let's get this right. Okay, if you had a company and it made £1 million profit a day, it would make 365,250,000 pounds a year. So you've basically got to divide 1.3 trillion by 365 million, And that tells you how many thousand years it is, and it comes to about 3,600 and something years. It's not like millions and millions of years. Patrick McCarthy says Top Trumps is a glorified version of Snap. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, Top Trumps is very different from Snap. Snap, you've got to get the same thing. That if you get the same answer in Top Trumps, you have to put it to the back of the pack, don't you, and keep it separate. And then if you win the next thing, you win that and the Covent card in that round. No, Top Trumps nothing like it. It's a card game. It's a card game, but then so's blackjack. So's shithead. It's a good traveller game. Duke Vengeance says, estate ownership is so bad. Why are roads such a good idea? Indeed. 9 words for Duke. Kevin, keep that in mind. The claim that Patel's parents came here as refugees is merely rumour. It's more evident they came here on student visas. I heard they came here as economic migrants. Ernie Burns says, if you use the cards in the sense of devilish, devious, selfish gobshites, then we are holding all the cards. If you use it in the sense of being in a good position, then no. Yugi Galodis says, Johnson, I have Nietzsche's complete works at home, and of course I've begun my linguaphone German course. Yeah, indeed. Oh, God, it's just embarrassing. It is embarrassing. It is very, very embarrassing, all of it. So, I'm going to be coming up to the end of the show very soon, but I will be continuing over on the Discord server for a little while. So I will bring up Discord. Now, where there is Discord, let us bring conversation. If you are not a patron or a YouTube member, which is going to start soon, then you'll have to use this link that I'm about to put on to the chat in order to join us on Discord after the show. If you want permanent access to the Rejoin EU server, then you'll have to become a patron for this channel or a YouTube member, which will be starting pretty soon, as soon as I get my graphics and everything sorted out and a bit of merchandising, because I think it's important to have some mugs. Always have some mugs ready for when you need mugs. So yeah, I'm just bringing up Discord now. Should have done this while I was chatting to Drew, so it wasn't so like, oh my God, I've got to do this thing while I'm talking to you. It's really hard to talk and do a thing at the same time. And it always makes me edit the invite link, so I've always got to pay attention to what I'm doing. Copy. Right. Okay, good. There it is. Restream chat, and I'll throw that in there. So if you want to join us on the Discord server, this link will self-destruct in 6 hours. Yeah, get on there, and we'll have a chat after the show. Pete Robbins says, thanks, Graham, for the link on young children having to take their passports to school. I'll be advising my Tory Brexiteer Daily Mail reading father who needs reminding on the crap he voted for. Yeah, like I say, I don't know if it's been verified. I don't know who the person who put it online. I've got no reason to doubt them, and I've got no reason to doubt that this is happening, because we are living in this weird version of the 1930s Germany, but with the internet. And I'm very glad that I live as close to the border with Scotland as I do. Yuli Kaluda says, I hope all the cards, I hold all the cards who voted for me in my clutching hands. Ha ha ha, those fools. Indeed. David says, I'm going to see you. Kisses, sweetheart. Oh, it's very nice. Nicholas Wickstead says, oh no, meaty Trumps are sold out. Have they stopped making them? I was gonna try and find a link and then share it. British nonces. Oh, you can get British nonces for 10. Oh my God, they're going for like £20 for a pack. Oh my God, I've got all these packs. I'm rich beyond my wildest dreams. I actually have a spare pack of Brexitters. Might have to have a competition for everyone watching to see if they want a packet of. I'll send them my spare packet of Brexitters, since they seem to be out of print. Parasitic Royals, £10. Yeah, I don't know if they're still making them. Last updated 8th of May. Yeah. And mint condition packs of meaty Trumps, British nonces, first edition, unused as new. This was a limited edition of 2000 and isn't available to buy from meatytrumps.com any longer. They were sold at Banksy's Dismaland. Okay, cool. It's a bit of a shame that not everyone's got these. Yeah, meatytrumps.com. Strange trump cards from Lancashire. There's the link. So if you can see what's available on there, let's have a look. Bye. All sold out. Oh, there you go. All editions of Meaty Trumps were limited editions and are now completely sold out. No further packs are planned at the current time. Thank you to everyone who bought them. We had a lot of fun making them. That is a lot of work to put into something. They made about 8 different packets in the end. Brexit is number 8. And there's like the... Which ones am I missing? I'm missing 5, 6, and 1. But I've got them somewhere. I've definitely got British Nonces. The pack of British Nonces. I've definitely got that somewhere. So I'll dig it out. Neo-fascism. Same school thing happened to me too. Pineapple, are you saying that the demanding to see the passport happened to you? Can you give me a bit more information about that before I go? We're coming up on time, and I foolishly just brought tea down. I didn't bring any water down with me, so I'm kind of gagging for some water at the moment. I'm getting a sore throat, which isn't great, obviously. So turns out Brexit's a really bad idea. Who knew? Who knew that Brexit would turn out to be so goddamn awful? Oh yeah, I remember everyone. Oh, I'm getting another phone call. Who's this? Who are you? Why can't I see the screen? It's doing that weird thing where it's not actually showing me who is calling, but my phone is buzzing like a crazy thing. Okay. Don't know why you're doing this, phone. I'm just going to turn you off. I'll turn my phone off. It just keeps buzzing. I think my phone's having a midlife crisis or something. Do they do this? It's a few years old now, so they make it so you have to buy a new one. Pineapple Boy says, tell you on Discord. Okay, right. Abandoned stream, everyone. Abandoned stream. We're heading over to Discord. So if you'd like to join us, click on that link that I put on before. And thanks for watching, as always. I will be back tomorrow, God willing, at the usual time, 1 o'clock or 10 minutes past 1, more likely. Yes, should have told you Brexit was a bad idea on the side of a bus. Yula Kaluya says, how many points are the British public worth in Trump Brexiters? I don't know. I'll see if they're in there. Listen, if you join me on Discord, we'll go through some of these meaty Trumps together and we have a laugh at them. And maybe at some point in the future we can have a big game of them when we're all allowed to meet up in real life again, whenever that is. Okay, so thanks for joining me. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for everyone who follows me, supports me through Patreon. And that's patreon.com/thatgingerscouser. And if you would like to give the video a link. Take 2. If you'd like to give the video a like before you leave, that really helps my algorithms. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Ooh. And I promise I will never touch my microphone again, because I know it makes a horrible noise. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, that would be fantastic. It doesn't cost you anything. And if you click the bell notification icon, it will let you know when I'm broadcasting, which is usually, most days, either at 1 o'clock or 10 o'clock. We'll see. So, yes, Project Fearfully Correct. Goodbye, everyone, says Context. And, yes, I will be getting myself a bus to put Told You Brexit Was a Bad Idea on the side of it. Kevin Hegarty responding to Drew, saying that may be true, as yet unconfirmed. Still didn't stop May deporting thousands of people out of the UK who were asked to come here to do jobs for you. Patel is no different. God has been shouting, don't do Brexit! Okay, well, I'll see you on Discord. Otherwise, see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, I'll say hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye. It's my list of patrons. These are my patrons. These are my wonderful patrons. We've got Walter there. We've got Thomas. We've got Computer Art. We've got Gabrielle and Jennifer. We've got Alexander, Gentle Vendetta, and a bunch of other people. They're all absolutely awesome. And you could join them by going to patreon.com/thatgingerscouser. Yeah.